I actually sent that to Jim in accounting, and she's like, "This is Adam and Kate plus hate. I'm Kate."
I'm out.
um,
I don't know
not
anyone.
much jog.
How
What?
many people? How many people do you know named Jim?
I know a handful, but they're all like my dad's age.
I know one, and he's like close to my age. Shout out Jim Springer. Um, I only know one. I just wanted to learn something from you. That's
Okay.
all.
Just want to learn more about you. Um,
And like the weirdest, most hyper specific ways.
that reminds me once of this is a very specific memory that will go nowhere.
All right.
Trying to get tickets for Warp Tour, I want to say in 2006. My friend's dad was on the phone, um, trying to get trying to procure Warp Tour tickets, and there was a lot of like just dead air, like fit to fill, and like my friend's dad was not like definitely an autistic man. Um, just out of the blue and apropos of absolutely nothing, at it was just like, "Are you of like?" Just asked the person on the phone, like, "Oh, are you of German ancestry?" And she's like, "Why is that relevant?" It's like, "I'm just making conversation." And she's like, "Oh, no." It was really funny. It's so weird.
It's a man after my own heart in all reality. That's the kind of shit that I actually really like. Make it fun and comfortable for everybody.
Did you say fun, comfortable?
I did.
Okay. I was trying to come up with like something off the hip for like a fun, comfortable question, but I got nothing. Um. Anyway, so what sort of porn did you watch?
Like, I don't know. Really whatever anabolic or diabolic we're putting out, I had a subscription. So whenever it would roll into a new
Okay. uh,
I w- I wouldn't say so much as had a subscription as dated someone who worked at an adult film store and they would just give me
ah.
movies. So like,
Mm.
The entire filmography?
yes, it is. Yes, that is why. The internet doesn't need to hear about my weird shit just yet. Let us get a year in, then I'll start talking about the porno titles I own.
Did I ever tell you about the porno titles that I found?
I think you touched on it when you found Woods porn.
Yeah, yeah. That's the entirety of the story. It's, yeah, it's just like cum vampires. They're like vampires, but for cum.
I still think whoever wrote that is a goddamn genius, and they're not a poet laureate, but like they should at least get a look. It's creative yet straightforward, and it sparks the imagination.
You don't think they should win, but they should at least get nominated?
Yeah, just because like one, it would really up the punks, but more importantly, it would also uh like it would fuck with people so bad, kind of like when a KLF like got the AK-47s with blanks just open fire when they were performing in I think it was London or maybe it was New York. They got banned permanently.
I I do not know this story.
Band called the KLF, weird anarchist collective. If I remember correctly, there's a documentary, but there's a performance where they open fire with blanks,
Word.
and it was them, and I want to say not Napalm Death, but maybe throw some British bands
Um,
from back in the '80s and early '90s.
Bolt
Extreme Noise
Thrower.
Terror. I think it was Extreme Noise Terror.
Okay. I uh I don't know a ton of British acts, so I'm just like,
I assume they're British.
bolt thrower. That's the one that I know.
But that was like that imprinted on me very hard as a kid. I was like, "Oh, so this is cool? You can just do this? Is this art? This is goddamn terrifying."
It's not art.
I mean, I think some things were said. I believe they lit real money on fire Joker style. Anyways, there's a documentary on it. It's actually very cool. I forget the name of it, but I that was a very sick thing to like witness as a kid and then like revisit it and then the documentary just popped up on my YouTube and I was like, "Oh, fuck yeah, I'll watch a documentary with the KLF and it's mind-blowing."
Right on. But you doing okay? Doing all right? You
Yeah.
you hanging
Uh
in there? I know you've had a bit of a week.
uh yeah, it is this fuck this weather. Fuck this weather in its fucking mouth with a knife. I hate it so goddamn much. I am so mad. Uh if
It's awful. It's really bad.
stab the sun. I am just furious most of the time. Um eh, some cool things have happened, but this it's the kind of heat and I when you told me where you're at, like it's like that here a lot, but when I heard it was like that in like upper 90s, triple digits, and like 90% humidity. That blew my mind that it was that far up north. I was like, oh, the planet's dying. Like birds are dying. We're next. Ha 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 ha.
It's probably fine. It's probably
It's
fine. I
fine.
got I got woken up out of a dead sleep last night by a flood warning. Um, so that was cool. I liked that. And then even more ridiculous was that where I work, I first thing that I did this morning was go downstairs and I checked the places where it floods because I was like, there, it something awful has happened. I just know it. I got down there, it is bone dry. It's fine. And then at like 10 o'clock this morning, there was another deluge, and it I got a text from the lady that runs the daycare downstairs, like, "Hey, can you come down here when you have a second?" And it's just water just coming in, just from the wall. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not who's mad? I'm not mad. It is, I got it sorted out, but it was still like, ugh, deeply
That's a
unpleasant.
couple. That's a couple industrial cleaner phone calls you got to make. Guys that are used to that.
Yeah. I mean, it was mostly just us. It was just like it was initially me with like a carpet extractor sucking up all the water, and then called in somebody like on his off day to come and like shampoo it because I there was 1,000 other things I also had to do. Um, so it's fine. It's fine.
ShamWow, I wish you were constructing materials. Gotta be awesome.
It's just carpet made of ShamWow.
Or like whole houses. Like somehow
Well,
figure
yeah.
out the chemical composition to put it on top of the wood or in with the paint. Yes, absolutely.
Actually, what I want is an entire house dipped in that like never wet stuff that like actively repels water. Like it's not just like it's like hydrophobic is what it's called. You've seen those videos where like they dip a boot in mud and the mud just like slides off.
Yeah, I've always thought that was like you're full of shit. That's not real.
No, that shit's real. Um, the problem is that like you can spray it onto stuff. The problem is that it forms this coat that is like very brittle. So like it cracks really really easily.
Well,
The more you know.
I've learned some shit.
Mhm.
Uh let's see. What else? Uh this week, actually amazingly, last week, I did not get a single goddamn thing in the mail, which was weird, but also kind of cool. Did you happen to have any fortune with the post office?
I did. So friend of the pod, unofficial third chair, JX has been commissioning me to do some graphic design work for him. I've asked him to, in lieu of money, just buy me merch on occasion, so that I can be better with money and
Fair.
still also get my merch fix. So, um, the first of that came in today. It's a Have Heart hoodie.
Hell yeah.
So shout out JX, shout out Common Ground. They have some cool stuff coming this year from that camp. Um, so keep your eyes on their socials. Um, Also, if you go see them, you can pick up a sticker or two designed by me. And
Yes.
by or two, I mean you can get two different designs that are both my design. Um, so it's super
Be
fun.
be the financial change you want to be. Uh,
Yeah, and it keeps graphic design fun for me. Like it's graphic design is like a very like it's a love-hate relationship that I have with it. Like it has to stay in this like sweet spot of like being fun for me to do. Otherwise, I like really quickly fall into hating it. Um, it's one of those like I was encouraged at more than one occasion to be like, you should just go into this because you're good at it. And I was like, that's very kind of you. I would hate my life if I did this for a living. Um, because like I spent some time like interning at like a graphic design firm, and like the sort of stuff that you occasionally have to do in graphic design is dog shit. It is like it doesn't make you feel good. It's like terrible shit that pays the bills. And it's like this was a fun and creative expression, and now I've monetized it, and now all the joy is gone because I have made dog shit.
so
If
I'm
all of
glad
that scans.
it does. It's same like say I'm glad you're having fun with it. Same with like comedy for me. If I'm not feeling
Mhm.
it, it's nothing to do with like whether I am being paid or I'm just going to an open mic. A lot of open mics. A lot of open mics lately. But at the same time, like I know that if I don't do that, there'll be no payoff. But it is definitely the same thing. Like if I get burnt out on trying to be creative for something I don't give a shit about, it will crush my will to want to do it in any sort of earnest way.
Yeah, absolutely. And doing fun stuff for my buddy's band is a lot of fun and what I've always wanted to be doing with my graphic design work. So I'm glad I'm doing it.
Hell yeah. Be on the lookout. Stuff soon.
Stuff soon. Um, you had some visitors at the house this week. Do you want to talk about it?
I would love to. And I'm glad you brought the original post to my attention. Um, so over the last couple of years, I've been downsizing my record collection and I've sold to a couple different places. Uh, and now I'm at the point where like I want to get rid of more. I'd like to keep it all, but reality says no, get rid of it. So I had reached out to Tiger Records in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm pretty sure it's Jacksonville. That I would ship stuff down because I've had a lot of success with that with a couple other stores like Limited One and Broken Anchor. So if you're in the area of New York, go to Limited One. If you're in the part of North Carolina, it escapes me off the top of my head, where Raleigh-ish area, go to Broken Anchor. I on back and forth, like, yeah, I'll sell some stuff, and then we just lose touch for whatever reason. You had showed me a post where they were going on tour, and they're just buying collections. And then later on, I think in a conversation, like Aaron Bedard's going to be with Jim, the owner of Tiger Records, and I was like, "What? That's I'm sure
Yep.
they're doing something. So, both Jim, who I had not messaged since 2022, 2023, and Aaron Bedard, who I have not seen for more than a few moments outside of on stage, were at my house.
That is trippy.
It, like, all right, let me do the fanboy glazing shit real quick. Um, Bane
Please.
was like the very first hardcore show I went to on my own, like
That's
ever.
cool.
Like I'd gone to shows with friends who drove, but it was the first time I drove from like Rutherford County, North Carolina to Winston-Salem. And it was them, a band called Countervail, and I can't remember if it was Never Again or Daltonic, and then a local opener. The fact that I remember all these bands is a very Countervail was sick, by the way. Um, uh, Broody or Adamantium, heavier. Really enjoyed it. Uh, and my didn't learn how to. I couldn't work my camera, and the drummer in Bane helped me use my camera. So first show, got some help. Uh, And then the other big time that I saw them was the final Stretch Armstrong show in New Brooklyn. It was uh, Mainline, Bane, Evergreen, and Stretch. And this is like 2010, something like that. Uh, and it was like 185 people crammed into this place. The opener couldn't make it. Bane was the opener. And I had a blast. I had a print from that, so I showed him that. Apparently, that Countervail tour was the third Bane tour ever. So I had no idea
Whoa.
I'd see them that early in. So a band that I very much and very much still do care about, that was a big influence on me. A dude who I was like, you know, so I got that out of the way real quick, and then we just bullshitted about stuff and went through records and merch and sold off a good grip of stuff. So if you're in Florida in the Jacksonville area, go give Tiger Records and Jim some money because, oh God, they went hard. So help him recover, buy something. And I think Aaron Bedard is doing a band called Raw Deal, if I remember correctly. So if you go on his Insta, there should be a link to it. I feel like I'm right. I feel like I'm right. Uh,
Is this different than the project he was doing like immediately post Bane? Because that was pretty sick.
I have not checked it out in all honesty, but yeah, it was cool going through stuff. I had a lot of fun. It was very weird.
That's a very surreal experience.
I felt like a kid. I felt much younger. I felt like a kid again. I felt like, oh, I'm in my early 20s when I still had hope. Like this is actually kind of cool.
That's awesome. I'm
So
glad that I'm glad that happened for you.
yeah. So and Jim was awesome. Aaron was awesome. So support those dudes. Jim has a record store. Aaron, Raw Deal. If you get a chance to see Bane, whatever it is, just support like kind, just kind, awesome people. So that's like you can't get any better than that. So those are the kind of people you should support.
Poor cool shit.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
And boys, it was a pleasure having you in the house. So we should send him this.
why not?
So that was a very weird way to spend the 4th of July, but it was also very cool. So
I mean, better than like eating hot dogs with your racist uncle. You know?
yeah. I mean, he's dead, so that'd be really weird if I did that and if I had a hot dog. But yes, we
Yes,
just
those two things are definitely strange. You having a hot dog and your with your
well, step on. No, this is a step uncle. I think he's dead. I don't know. Probably. It's fine.
probably.
Yeah. Time.
Do you not
Time.
like hot dogs? I'm
No.
confused.
No. I think they're. I've never given a fuck about a hot dog. I don't like. I don't like kielbasa. Here's the thing. It's not what it's made out of. It's that membrane I got to bite through, and it's just an unnerving feeling for me. I just don't
Okay.
fucking like it. Now, if you give me like a vegan corn dog, I'll have that because there's coating, a thick coating. Uh,
Okay.
It's like a meat roll.
Coating, yes. Membrane, no.
Well, the vegan ones don't have, but vegan hot dogs seem to. I don't know. It's just weird. I'm weird. Let me have this.
Okay. I come from primarily German stock, and we are a very sausage centric people.
Yeah,
Um,
y'all are.
there's a viral video that every time it goes around, everybody I know sends it to me on Instagram, which is this woman talking about all of the sausage related idioms that German has, and it is many. Um, so like if you name an English idiom, there's a decent chance there's like a sausage based German one equivalent. Um, so
A
write what you
firestorm
know, I
to
guess.
purify. A firestorm to purify. I'm just thinking out loud. A firestorm to purify. Uh, I don't know, man.
The sausages.
They better be vegan. I could give a fuck. I think they're gross. I'm not a vegan, but I don't eat a lot of the regular bullshit. I try to have my dairy intake as little and as inoften as possible. Same with meat. Uh, I don't fuck with gelatin. I just don't like the idea that Mr. Ed is somehow part of my Starbursts or my Skittles. So I don't fuck with it because I love Mr. Ed. And
We got to do something with the hooves. With the hooves.
yeah, but like proper burial would be a good start. I don't know. I don't know. I'm weird about foods. Like it's more of it can be a taste thing or a texture thing. But there's stuff that I'm like, yeah, I've tried it multiple times. I'm not going to fucking eat that ever again. I say, all right, love you. Have a good day at work. Bye. Bye. Uh, I don't give a fuck about sausage. My wife who just left has made me try a lot of new things that I just never would have, and that's
Hmm.
been good.
It's good when you try new things.
Yeah, but sausage doesn't have to be one. You don't have to do it.
You don't have to try anything that you don't like. Like, yeah, it's fine. Do what
Yeah,
you want. Live your own life.
yeah. Eat chicken tenders and have chocolate milk for the rest of your life. It's the adult thing to do. If you get the vegan version, it's healthy. Nothing wrong with it. You're being progressive.
Progressive.
But
Progresso. Soup.
yo, I miss that soup.
You
Soup.
can go get some Progresso, my dude. You can that
I
can
thought.
your dream can come true.
Well, good thing my dreams are very limited sometimes. They're very
Like, that's just
achievable.
it's the blue can at the grocery store.
To be honest, I don't think I've shopped for soup in years. That's usually what my wife. She's like, "Oh, but we're gonna make soup tonight." Like, all right. Uh, I don't know how it's made. I don't know what fucking cauldron she pours the ingredients into. I do not bother her when she makes anything with like her version of chili or she does a vegetarian version, which is pretty sick. Uh,
Nice.
or a soup. She, by the way, she uses the fake meat for the meatless chili.
Mhm.
It's it's pretty
I've
awesome.
really I've I've really enjoyed all of, like, the Beyond meats that I've tried. Like, it's different, but it's still good. Like, I've never had one of those that I've never, like it's way better than those fucking, like, veggie patties from back in like, those things are just unfortunate. Um,
Flavored fucking cardboard.
yeah, no, exactly. It's just like vegetables that have been processed to the point where, like, they had very little to do with their original form, pressed into a patty, flavored to be, like, something, like, vaguely approaching umami, but, like, very odd.
It's gross.
Unpleasant.
Well,
All of that to say.
that was a bit of a tangent.
Little bit. Little bit. So Hellfest was this past weekend.
Yes,
Um, I saw a bunch of videos. A lot of people went. They seem to have a lot of fun.
great lineup.
Great lineup. Everyone looked like they were having a blast. I did see lots of videos of like varying levels of questionable behavior in the pit.
Yo, that stage was
Apparently, someone
gigantic.
got the say again.
That stage was fucking gigantic.
Yeah,
God
I
damn.
haven't seen a thing like that in a very long time. Like last time I remember seeing anything like that was in like the early 2000s. Like
Yeah,
two separate risers in front of the stage, absolutely massive. Kids going off. It was cool. I am bummed I missed it. It just there was no way that was going to be in the cards for me this year. Both just financially and health wise, just wasn't going to happen. But um,
you mentioned the inappropriate, uh, or the questionable pit
questionable.
activities. Like, I don't have a better way of saying this, but I haven't seen white guys take a hit like that since Abe Lincoln. Shout out South Park. God, I finally got to work that line in. Oh, I love it.
um, someone may or may not have called the cops on a crowd killer. Jury's still out.
I see you were on hardcore Reddit today as well. Yeah,
I
that
think
haircut.
no, JX I think actually just sent that to us
Oh,
and was like, um, but yeah, I mean, if I have my knee jerk feeling is that there must be something more to that story than what we're getting. Um, because if not, that is some cornball behavior.
I mean, you saw his fucking super regrettable haircut. Would you expect anything from anyone else looking like that?
Look, everyone I know with a terrible mullet here in Philly is extremely progressive. Like so far left you get your guns back type.
This
Uh
that guy, and again, it's all speculation. Get stay die, man. Uh, he looks like he has some questionable text or Instagram messages.
yeah, yeah.
I'll judge a book
Church
by a
history
cover.
darker than a sea trench, telling you how to live.
Closet full of skeletons.
Yeah,
Grown
yeah.
man. Grown man can't handle the shit.
Grown man clearly cannot handle his shit. I will say that.
Ugh.
Um, even if there was something a bit more to the situation than what we were being given, if you're a grown man and you're a hardcore show, I feel like you should be able to handle your business without getting the fucking cops involved.
Like, the fact that there's only one, there's a lot, there may be more than one thread about it now, but the fact that that has gotten such a mild response compared to some of the other shit we've read this year, and then like had to talk about like, do we really want to fucking talk about this?
That
Uh,
trans woman that got straight up assaulted
yeah, that was
in
super
Utah.
overlooked. Yeah,
Yeah, like that's one thing I don't want to get too deep into the hate this episode because I don't want to get my blood pressure up uh right before I need to go to bed. But um one thing that is frustrating to see, like I don't see this in person. I only ever see it online. Um but it is so clear with every like controversy and controversy that comes out that like we still have a lot of work to do in terms of like overcoming like transphobia and racism and sexism.
yeah, it's
Just in the patterns of what people get mad at and what they like, what they decide that it's fine to just overlook or ignore or equivocate about. It's just very blatant to me that we still have a lot of work to do there. And it's a little disheartening because, like, you want to think of like punk spaces as progressive spaces, but it's like, hmm, and I shouldn't gauge too much of things based on like what I see some like jagoffs on Reddit doing. But if it is a useful bellwether of how people are feeling, which I think it can be, um, I think there's work to be done. You know what I mean?
Not just like work, but commitment. Like you really have
Uh,
to like this one if you have beliefs, if you have care for your fellow human being, you're gonna have to commit in a way that's super fucking uncomfortable because it's not
yeah.
always gonna be pleasant. And I think and this kind of goes back to an old bit I had about hashtags, and I could never make it work because I was so frustrated with it. Like commitment is not just until the next thing pops up. It's not like, oh, this is trending. Just fucking do it. And you
Hmm.
don't and you don't have to make like certain aspects of helping others your personality. You could just do it because it's the right thing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the right posture to go about. Like, yeah. I think about the story that my friend Davin told me once. Shout out Davin. She sang. She was the vocalist for the band Kingdom.
For Kingdom.
Um, and they were on tour through like I forget where, but they showed up at the show and there was like a straight up Nazi there, like just at the show. And Davin would like while on stage was just like would talk about like standing against that sort of thing and just very blatantly. But someone came up to her afterwards was like, "Well, what are you going to do? What are we going to do about this Nazi here at the show?" And she was like, "Look, I'm on tour. I'm gone tonight. You are the people that have to deal with this guy." You know? And from what I remember the story that like a lot of people were just like, well, they sort of just, you know, did that thing and oh, but like it's like young kid who was like clearly scared shitless went up to him and was like, "Get the fuck out! You're not fucking welcome here." Like, cussed this dude out and screamed him out and like made it clear that he was not welcome. You know, and I think there needs to be more of that. Like, yeah, it's like it's gonna make you uncomfortable to actually call that shit out when you see it, when you're around it. Like, being a good person is often inconvenient.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
sorry, you know? Um,
It it's a thankless, difficult, unpleasant road, but
yeah, yeah, but it's if you if you we talk a lot about integrity and honor and stuff like that within hardcore. In fact, like, those are names of like, those are essentially names of 2 pretty important hardcore bands, right? Like, it speaks to the ethos that we tend to value, and, like, actually having integrity, actually having honor, doing things with honor will mean that you have to do things that are uncomfortable. Um, because the social mores dictate that you grumble about shit under your breath, but don't actually do anything about it. Like,
it's
because that's like, so you'll have to break the social contract.
it's it I here's my bad advice. Once I figured once I figure out how to make these into a hoodie, it's over with. Merch game teriyaki. But Muay Thai stops crowd killing. You can start right there.
Yeah.
Muay Thai stops Nazis.
Yeah.
It
Uh,
can it can solve a lot of problems. Is what I'm saying. Uh, get decent first, but like you know,
learn how to throw a punch. Hope that you never have to. But if you have to, because look, you know who we haven't seen since she got his shit rocked on camera? Fucking Richard Spencer.
oh, I was gonna say Charlie Kirk, but no, you're right. Also him.
I wasn't gonna go to the Charlie Kirk thing. I'm just saying, like Richard Spencer, like got fully punched in his fucking dumb fucking mouth.
Yeah.
We have not seen hide or hair of that dumb neo-Nazi bastard.
Didn't Milo Yiannopoulos also have some shit happen? I feel like he did, or he
I
just faded.
feel pretty certain. He may have just faded, but like, yo, punching Nazis works. Also works for Nazis. Throwing fucking milkshakes at them. Better than a brick because blood looks cool. Milkshakes look like milkshakes.
This episode's going places. That's awesome. Where
Punch a
were we? Oh,
Nazi.
yeah. Or
Hellfest,
elbow.
though. The reason I brought up Hellfest in the first place was that we're seeing the rebirth of Ferret,
Yes. Uh, very
which
cool.
is not a thing that I thought would like I thought we'd see, but here we are.
It it's pretty awesome. Um,
So they
it-
started this week. This weekend they announced a couple of re-releases and then a couple of signings.
yes.
Okay,
I, I did not pay as close of attention to the new signings, and I only cared about three, but I only got two of the represses.
okay,
Um, see, remembering never, God save us back in print. Uh, one day we'll get She Looks So Good in Red. But seeing that back in print is very cool. Remembering Never is one of those bands that like they went from Poison the Well, but like really bitter Poison the Well to now we're moving to socio-political issues and scene problems and mental health issues, like a complete 180. And they got heavier and meaner. And big important band. Uh, Mean Pete, Peter Kowalski, rest in peace. He straight edge, vegan, uh, pushed. I wouldn't say pushed, but like definitely exclaimed about how important those things were to him. Uh, and I think he probably guided a lot of kids to that. He had Until the End as well, and Bishop, but remembering never seeing that torn apart 59th session. Uh, good early metallic hardcore. Um, a band I appreciated years later. So that's why I decided to pick that up. But Ferret and Trustkill had this thing where like they were both either Victory Records or trying to be Victory Records or trying to be Revelation. But their points of choosing were so different. Whereas like Victory kind of had a defined sound to an extent or a model that
felt
they were
like
looking at.
Ferret was kind of trying to be EVR for a.
Maybe later on when like every label was trying to get their bands on Warp Tour and have like a Warp Tour style like pop punk or mall emo adjacent band pop, so they could like fund more stuff, do more stuff. Everyone trying to find their own Taking Back Sunday was a lot of those bands are just found and done, but people were trying to get it. But I feel like before that happened, those were two super important labels that put out a ton of genre defining, genre altering, super important records. So, uh, Ferret would probably be closer to, if you had to compare it to a modern label, Closed Casket, because they had way heavier bands in comparison to Trustkill. Uh, as like consistently throughout the label, and they put out some pretty important records. So it was. I'm hoping that I finally get Suicide Note. You're Not Looking So Well on vinyl. I love that record. It's not on streaming. I don't have the CD anymore. I hope we get some Scarlet 12 Tribes stuff on vinyl. Um, those probably be the big ones. Everything else I have. So I'm sure there's stuff other people would want from their pretty extensive catalog, but those are my personal ones. So I think it's cool that Ferret's back up and running, and Trustkill's also back. So I wonder if we'll see the Mount Rushmore reemerge, but instead of uh Victory, you could probably put in, like, I don't know, Triple B or Days, because Rev's still doing shit. Death Wish is still doing shit. So your Rushmore can have whatever, but I think Days and Triple B, probably the other two labels that you could really throw on there. Uh, Pure Noise and Run for Cover are kind of more, they're kind of away from that, but they have a ridiculous amount of acts. So, but I feel like those are the 5 to 6 labels, since Victory's gone, 7 labels that could really, they're pushing culture, they're pushing taste. So it's like I'm in my 20s again.
I'm interested to see what's gonna happen with Ferret. My concern is, like, um, eventually, like, these older record labels kind of step aside because there's, like, they're not the tastemakers anymore. Like, they are maybe stewards of, like, the scene's past, you know? And I'm worried that, like, Ferret being like, "We're gonna restart," it's like, I don't know. I'm hesitant to give it a full-throated, like, "Oh, I'm stoked on this." Like, I'd be happy to see, like, reissues, but, like, the signing new acts is kind of, I don't know how I feel about that.
I know Trustkill signed Bayway. They signed somebody else whose name escapes me. They've done a whole bunch of vinyl repressings of, like, their big records for that label. And I think both of them are doing it in a way that's kind of like what really Dom from A389, I think, was the real progenitor of this new style of the label being run. So shout out Dom, because he had A389 for years. And then when he's like, oh, the label's done. And then he would come back. He might repress one or two old records, but he would have, like, oh, here's this integrity split that we have exclusive of and some merch to go with it. And then, like, okay, we've sold our stock, or we have a little bit left over. Then they go, hey, we're doing this record for, like, a repress, and this limited run of merch. And I think that way of doing, like, only one or two releases and making them, like, really special has been, A389's put out more than I thought they were going to after they quit. So, and a lot of it is the classics for that label, but I'd rather have that than the occasional new thing than to have nothing from them.
Yeah,
So, I think if more labels that we grew up with end up becoming legacy labels, and not a negative sense, but like, oh, they got this sick band, and no one else wants to put out the record. Fuck it, I'll do it. I know how to do it. You know what? I'll repress this record, and then we'll open up the vaults. Let's do some shit. So if that's the new model for, like, the legacy labels, I'm using hard air quotes. It's not unfair, but it's
yeah,
not fair. Um,
yeah,
so if they're doing that, good. I hope it helps everyone involved. Uh, and I hope,
for
like,
sure.
the weird fan requests like Scarlet, 12 Tribes, and Suicide Note, for me, I hope those happen. But yeah, fair, big label
For
for a lot of
sure.
people. Say what Trustkill.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't wanna, that's a really good point. I don't wanna cast aspersions or whatever. I'm just I get a little nervous when I see a lot of, like when when a thing starts doing a lot of backwards facing, I get a little nervous.
Okay, I got you.
You know what I mean? Like, just like, why are we doing all of this, like, remember what was cool 20 years ago? Like, uh, it makes me a little uneasy. And not to say that it can't be good or it's like or anything like that. I just um and I'm also like part of me likes like I like the idea of things from my childhood coming back. That's cool. Um I don't want to sound like I'm against it. I'm just mm, I think things should move forward, you know?
You know who has a speaking of I'm saying again legacy label, but you want to know who has like really kind of rode that line better than anyone else in recent memory? EVR. I feel like they had new stuff. They were still putting out new records, but then people were clamoring for old releases. And maybe there's like a licensing thing or like, no, we're trying to develop these artists. We're trying to push the label because EVR has sold millions upon millions of records uh, as a label. They've had some gigantic, goddamn it, super important bands that people have gigantic audiences. And like, while I want very specific things, like at this point, all I really want from them is a Bane box set. Just make the box set already. Just make the box set. I don't mind the individual. Make the goddamn box set. Make a book box set combo. It will be so sick. I think it's possible. You've done the remaster. It all comes down to this. Sounds amazing. Make the box set. Putting it out there. But I really just want the HopeCon Cold Blue and End Note, and I'm good for me. There might be one or two other things, but for the most part, uh, they're still putting out new stuff that like 20 years ago, the kids that like that shit, now their kids are listening to it. And some of the new projects from bands like Tim Singer, Bitter Branches, new
Mhm.
band, older dude, older players. They're not going to be like on that specific like artist development onward and upward. They're gonna put out the record because I get to work with Tim Singer. I get to do something with one of his projects, whether it sells one copy or a million. This is a chance for me to work with you know a super important person in music, and thankfully, Bitter Branch is very good. So
Yeah, man, sick.
I'm just using that as an example, but they'll work with the older people, so they're not totally choked out. And when older dudes in hardcore and metal and punk and everything start a new band, you know, that can be really shitty to either start over. Like I just got this side thing. I finally decided to do a little harder, and then like them not be able to because the 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 kids may not get it, but you'll have the unks go, "Oh shit, they're doing a new I love their other band. I got to listen to this. I have to get into this." And it's gonna drive people towards it. And then you get the nostalgia for repressing stuff that I don't feel like spending $500 on, like a HopeCon record that like Cold Blue. That's pricey. It's not $500, but it's a pretty pricey now. I'd like to have a copy of that again. It doesn't have to be the original. I just want a copy of it. So and keep it shit like that in print is it's important because we're going to pure digital. If you pay attention to Grand Theft Auto or Sony in the news the last couple days, weeks, then like that's big. That's people like physical stuff uh, saying you're licensing it. It's no longer it's no longer part of me. It's just something that someone says they get to borrow for a while. It's very frustrating. I have no
Yeah.
idea where I was going with any of that. It's kind of blacked out like halfway through.
No, you're good. Um, I am curious. So, do you want to go through Ferret's sort of what? what bands were on here to see what, if anything, you want? Or
Yeah, yeah. And this, I think, if we do this, it'll show like the end of the label, the beginning of the label, and like the big pop. I think if you don't know the Ferret catalog really well or didn't grow up with it, you're gonna be surprised by some of the names in there that they've worked with. So uh,
yeah, let me
if I know anything, I'll make a comment. If I don't, I'll be like, I got nothing. So
right on. I will also do the same. 36 Crazy Fists.
went on to
Band
Roadrunner.
okay. I know the name and that's about it. Um,
Uh, went on to Roadrunner Records. I guess it was good. I never listened to him.
same. Uh, forgive me. A Life Once Lost. Um, Philly band. They were cool. I don't think they never really popped.
They, I will credit them with doing more with the gent sound and being innovative. Uh, I think they were pretty big, at least in the regions. There were a couple regions they were doing big. Um, not for that is not music for everybody, but goddamn, it was good.
It was cool. Never thought of them as gent though, because they were sort of like they sort of had that like Lamb of God sort of southern thing to them. But oh,
They were progenitors. Sorry,
um,
be a good boy, Lito.
let's see. Actually, let's see. Blood has been shed.
Big, big, important band. Heavy, hard.
Um, if you don't know Blood has been shed, you almost certainly know Kill Switch. Uh, this was the band that Howard was in before he took over vocal duties for Kill Switch. Um, I'm gonna hit little behind the scenes here. I'm gonna hit some highlights through this because we still need to go over your home.
Yeah, we did.
Um, Burnt by the Sun,
They're back. Hell yeah.
back. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do. Um, let's see. We got Chimera. Never did much for me. I
Chimera.
mean,
Uh, their first EP, which was on East Coast Empire, and then they had I think Roadrunner did the first LP. Those two are solid records. I'll ride for those. Cleveland band, um, very new, very lifestyle metal, but uh, but they very competent. I didn't care for the later records, but for that EP and that first LP and some songs off the second LP, uh, very competent, very good band. Went on to Roadrunner. Actually had a ton of fans. So there we go. They're cool.
um, let's see. Dead Hearts.
Uh, I don't remember everything about the band, but to me, it sounded like if Ensign got really aggressive, and I like
Okay.
Ensign. If Ensign was tough, had more of a tougher vocalist, tougher sounding vocalist. Very cool stuff. Just didn't pop, but like everywhere, but a very good band and very much worth your time.
Let's see. Disembodied.
Fucking one of the heaviest bands in 90s hardcore. Wrote some very good records. Got to see them twice uh, on tour with Brothers Keeper the first time in 1999, and then the final Disembodied Harvest reunion show. in Minneapolis. So I love Disembodied. I can't listen to them all the time as I've gotten older, but uh, I always enjoy them live. And Mike Olander from Endeavor and Burnt by the Sun is currently doing vocals. I would like to see that
Cool.
iteration of the band. So, because I love Endeavor. Endeavor's still my favorite thing he's done.
Um, every time I die.
The boys. The boys.
I still hold out hope that eventually they'll get their shit together and, you know?
That would be a Furnace Fest miracle. That's not happening. I'm just saying Furnace Fest had would have been like the kind of place they would have that big come or Hellfest.
Or
You know what?
Hellfest.
You know what, boys? All the big bookers for the fest that we make fun of, and but also like are still support. Make that shit happen.
What you're gonna have to do is throw some money at, like, couples counseling for the band.
Yeah.
We're gonna have everyone in the room go through some "when you, I feel" statements and hash some shit out, for the love of.
Jersey metallic hardcore. Very good. Very, very good. Underrated. I think they had a comeback record a couple of years ago. Um, hard. Your Masha, very
Right
good stuff.
on.
Underrated band.
A band that never did much for me, but I know is very beloved, From Autumn to Ashes.
Too Bad You're Beautiful is a goddamn classic. It is the pinnacle of that sing, scream back and forth with the beautiful guitars and the breakdowns that everyone tried to do. That record is the fucking blueprint. Um, can't say everything after that did it for me, but that goddamn record, oh my god. Dudes that listen to Terror develop feelings to meet girls. That's how powerful that record was.
um, Full Blown Chaos.
Mean. Uh, Hatebreed adjacent as far as sound goes. Wake the Demons is a goddamn monster of a record. I think when they came out, there were so many bands going for that sound, they got lost in the shuffle. But that Wake the Demons record fucking bangs. You know what? I wouldn't mind that coming out on vinyl, come to think of it. I would actually really like that. Same with Blood Has Been Shed. I'd buy the shit out of that.
That'd be cool. Harvest.
Back on, they were a Trustkill band. Then they were on Good Fight for a 7-inch. Maybe it was still called Ferret at the time. And then they got back together, plus started playing more shows, and now they're on Ferret, which means I hope something new's in the works. I fucking love Harvest. I drove 15 hours to see Harvest the first time. Big, big band for me personally.
Damn.
So,
15.
yeah. North Carolina to Minneapolis, however long that takes. It could be more. It probably was, but I'm saying 15 because I don't have good of a memory.
Uh, let's see. Um, Johnny Truant. This is a band I really liked from the UK. Um, they had 2 records. It'd be cool to see some of that stuff get a re-release. I think an underrated band, a band that should have had a moment but didn't. Um, they were coming up from the UK at the same time as Bring Me the Horizon, and I think they were the better band. But um, they're just doing way more. Like their sound was way more interesting. Um, but
I got them mixed up with Billy Talent all the time. And I liked both of those bands. They do not sound the same, but I always got them
no.
mixed up. So both very cool. Yeah, I'll ride for underrated.
Oh, this is a band I forgot was on Ferret. In Flames.
They just did one, maybe 2 records. Too much
Okay.
hair for me.
Yeah. Of that at the gates style thing, which never really was my bag. Um,
We're a darkest hour household when it comes to that.
Um, Ligea. Don't.
Ligaya, uh, immure with more than one chord in a lot of ways. Immure meets
Okay.
remembering never. Immure meets remembering never. That's the best way I can describe it. They weren't like
Okay.
they weren't
Not for me.
meathead. They weren't meathead, but that was if you put those two sounds together, that's what it sounded like. Uh, I think they were like local legends, and they do
Okay.
well. They regional band and Europe.
Madball?
Yep, they did at least leg. I think Legacy was the LP they did, and they did a collab
Okay.
with Pitchfork for the pre-order. Which I wish I still had that shirt. I love that shirt. Um, it's a Madball record.
You're either in or you're out.
Yeah, and it was a
Martyr
good
AD.
record. Uh, uh, Disembodied members, panic chords is what the kids call it right now. I call it satanic ska. The Human Condition record is really good. I sold my box set because I don't like 10-inch records. Repress that bitch on a fucking 12-inch. Give me Human Condition. Give me Human Condition and 12 fractions on fucking 12-inch vinyl. The box set's cool. Give me 12-inch. That's a great record.
um, a band that I really like, um, that I I don't think I could intellectually defend, other than like this is one of the first couple of records that I bought with my own money and really liked. Maylene and the Sons of Disaster.
Uh, Under Oath dudes. Southern Rock. Every Time I Die Adjacent.
They did the Southern Rock thing. I would argue, at least on like the first two records, like at times better than Every Time I Die.
They,
Um,
well, they were Southern. I would hope so.
yeah. Dallas Taylor, originally in Under Oath, he was on the first three Under Oath releases. Um, formed this band. Were really cool. They went on an indefinite hiatus when he nearly died in an ATV accident. They are back and playing shows. They've put out a couple songs. Got to see them. It was cool.
They're
Um,
uh, they're playing where I work soon, so I'll actually get to see them.
oh yeah, let me know what you think.
I will.
Um, Misery Signals.
Band I tried out for when their singer left. I love
Oh yeah,
that
you sent me that
EP.
demo.
I love of Malice and the Magnum Heart. I'm so glad it's back in press. It took forever, and I know it was a nightmare to get it, but that and Mirrors, which I would love a repress of with One Day I'll Stay Home, one of the best under Misery Signal songs written. Uh, Band is very important to a lot of people.
Yeah,
It's cool. I got to see their
I
final
really like that follow
show.
up to Controller. I really really like that record.
I have just started giving that a chance again. I think the cover art made me never want to listen to it. I don't know why, but it was like this. You bought it, but now I have a physical. I got a copy at Hellfest, so or Final Furnace Fest. Jesus Christ, I'm old. Um, and I started listening to it. I was like, you know what? I definitely need to give this a second chance. So I'm enjoying it now that I'm listening to it unbiased.
Controller was a really important record for me when I was 18. Um, uh, and all right, Nora, which is the dude from Ferret's band. Um, they were even though it was like the dude from the label's band, I always kind of thought of Nora as an also ran. Like they had their own fans for sure, but
It's all right. So the EP and the split that Nora did, the first early releases, and everything up to and including Never Ending You Line. Goddamn, I everything after that just did like Losers Intuition. A lot of it just didn't do anything for me because I would just did not listen to that kind of hardcore. But I can say with all honesty and sincerity, uh, that early Nora material, everything up to and including Never Ending You Line, it was they could have been doing dead guy adjacent stuff because I felt like they were leaning into that sound a little bit.
um Poison the Well.
Their best records came
We've
out on
talked.
Ferret.
Yeah, I think there's a good case being made for that. I don't want to talk too heavily on them. We've talked a lot of Poison the Well on the show. Remembering Never.
Me and Pete forever. Uh, again, like from earlier, very big band, very important band to a lot of people. Um, Pete was a great person. They put out good records on Ferret, and in all reality, Remembering Never should have been much bigger. Let's They should have been
I
up there.
yeah, I'd say so. Scarlet.
Spitfire. Same
John
band to
Spencer.
me. Same band to me. I really like that Scarlet material. There's no Scarlet material that I dislike. Even that last record, I like Nine Inch Nails. That's why I like that last record.
Right on. Shadows Fall.
Too much hair for me, but a very good band.
Yeah. Sky Came Falling.
Another band that should have been much, much bigger. If Shai Hulud had the intricate metalcore down, Sky Came Falling was the band that had some pretty parts, but first was it To Forever Embrace the Sun was produced differently, and it was a much faster record, so it had more of like a early 90s hardcore flavor to it. And then 1021 came out and it was a crushing record. That remaster, re-record, re-release the band did with all the extra stuff added to that record, brought it out. I felt that recording for a lot of bands back then, and this record is victim of it. It They all sounded the same, so this record might have gone unnoticed by people, but that remix, remaster, re-record brings everything back into that record, and goddamn, it's a monster. I love Sky Came Falling. Great, great band.
The Banner.
Shout out
New
Joey.
Jersey Legends.
Jersey Boys, the Boys, as well. I think them not getting big is a bit of a crime. Frailty is great. Your Murder mixtape is great. Each Breath Haunted is great. Uh, that's a solid lineup of records. I did give the Graying a chance, so I'm not going to say one way or the other, but that lineup of records is very good. And Frailty is one of the meanest records out of New Jersey I've ever heard.
Yeah. Uh, Band I really like, the Bronx. I I don't really understand their career or their trajectory, but I've always really enjoyed this band. I've always thought they were very, very good. Yeah. Um, those first two records particularly are fucking untouchable. Every record they put out, I think, has tracks. Um, I even like their side, their alter ego, Mariachi El Bronx. I think is very cool. Very well done because they bring in like a full, like legitimate mariachi band to join them, which I think is
Uh,
cool.
I will be seeing that sometime. I think they're coming to Radio Room. So,
That's awesome.
or Asheville, one of the two. But either way, I'm going to see them. I've never seen Mariachi El Bronx. So, very cool. And everything you said.
Yeah. Um, let's see. 12 Tribes.
Uh, Poison the Well from Ohio that never caught on, and that's unfortunate because they put out some great records. The name change didn't help, but goddamn, I love 12 Tribes.
I got to see them once with Shai Hulud, and they fucking ripped. They were super cool. Their music wasn't available on like streaming or anywhere for or digital for a long time. Um, I think that's since changed. Um, but really good band. X Bishop X.
Mean Pete's straight edge hardcore band, short, fast, mean, aggressive, uh, fun, but but Earth Crisis straight edge. Like just if you had a chance to listen to that Drugs EP or LP, whatever it is, the Drugs record that they did, you'd be like, oh, I get what you're saying now.
Got it. And then rounding this out, very special band for our friendship, specifically Zayo. Uh,
Zoltan.
Zoltan. Uh, they put out, Ferret put out probably the biggest Zayo record, eh, not biggest, I want to say commercially, which was Funeral of God. Which is
Repress that.
that'd be cool to have on vinyl. I think wasn't there a vinyl repress recently?
Tragic Hero did it a couple of years ago.
Okay.
But I'd also like to see The Fear That Keeps Us Here and the Awake. I like to see the whole Ferret catalog from Zayo pressed on vinyl. I hope they do
I
make that a
would
priority.
love I think we've talked about this before, probably off camera. Um, I would love a remaster of Fear That Keeps Us Here.
Yes, not to disrespect Steve Albini, but let Will Putney fuck with it.
Yeah, I think the mix as it stands is lacking a ton in the low end that steals a lot of the Zayo's like energy and like the punch that some of their songs really can have. I think Fear That Keeps Us Here has some of their best songs. Um, like, but I don't think the mix does them any favors. Um, add that to
Did
the wish list.
do that for Funeral
Like,
of God. Redo all the records. Actually, remaster all those records.
yeah, some of those early '90s stuff could like, um, Parade of Chaos also very much suffers from some unfortunate mixing. Um, remasters of Liberate and Jesus.
For Blood and Fire.
Yeah, I was like, it's like Serpent, what? What is the your eyes? Uh,
Yo, redo self-title. As a matter of fact, I don't know if it'll ever happen, but I would love to have all the mainline up into and including the Ferret records of Zayo go into a box set.
that'd be cool.
Remaster all of them. Uh, simple black case, red Z, little booklet in there. Uh, lyrics printed on the front and back of the jacket. I will sell plasma in 3 places to buy that in one day. Uh,
Please don't do that.
I make blood all the time. I'll be all right.
That's not how that works, Adam. You don't get better at losing blood.
Bro, I'm so good at it.
um, but yeah, Ferret, interesting label. Touched a lot of bands. There's plenty that I didn't even bother to hit just because like I would like to be asleep, you know, at some
Suicide Note.
point.
Suicide Note is the one band, based on all the stuff you've gotten me into over the last year or so. That's the one band I think would be the most special band outside of the Zayo records.
Word.
That's how strongly I feel about that You're Not Looking So Good record, and Too Sick to Dance Forever fucked. Now that I'm older and I appreciate that sort of stuff, fucking make it happen.
It'd be cool as hell. Um, all right. Well, we did things fuck out of order because we're both discombobulated. But do you want to talk about your homework?
Yes, you're gonna have to remind me of the bands. If you say the name, I'll remember the
So,
sound. Uh,
yeah, let's. First that comes to mind is "View from the Soyuz."
that would be if this was 2005, I would have been all about this fucking band, first of all. It's very good. It is very good. Take equal parts like All Out War, a little bit of Integrity, a little bit of Hate Breed, a little bit of 100 Demons, and you essentially have that band. Mean, hard, heavy, fucking it is a throwback sound to like '04 to '06 metalcore there or metallic hardcore of that kind. It is well done. It's I'll
Fucking
punch
sick.
somebody. I'll punch somebody
Yeah,
that band. That's fucking good. If you like 100
yeah,
Demons, you need to buy this record. Find track their shit down. All the aforementioned bands, get into this band. Very good stuff.
yeah. If you like most of the bands that we just went through, I think you'd find something to love in "View from the Soyuz." Their latest record there came out on Days, so worth picking up. Grab a
Check that
shirt,
shit out.
grab a record. It's sick. Wet Dream War Machine,
Great band name.
excellent
Great
band.
band name. Was this the which what how did I do you remember how I described them?
This was very weird band.
All
Um,
right. All right. This would have
Euro weirdness.
all right. This was
Um,
if I remember correctly. Because I did a refresher to remember all of them and I fucking still didn't. I feel like this was the band that was uh I remember this being the hardest listen for me out of all of them. And this
I
was
figured that
like
would be the case.
it was like mid-career daughters, but with channeled through 31G. I
Mm,
think that's what I said about them.
yeah,
And
that sounds about right.
it was I feel it was good, but I feel like if you're not into it combining those sounds, then you're gonna be like, "What the fuck?" It's going to make you mad. This is my least favorite of the records. Great goddamn band name. Did I say they had a little curl up and die in them as well?
Yeah,
Okay. It really is coming back to me.
it's
Later
weird, sludgy noise hardcore from Berlin. So like, it's gonna be weird.
Yeah, it has curl up and die parts and semi curl up and die vocals to go with it. So it not it would have been on I think this band back in the day would have been on like Happy Couples Never Last or Level Plane. I feel like those would be the two labels that would pick them up. So that's yeah, I remember that was right.
Um, then next up we got um Missouri Executive Order number 44. Now I
Great.
had to it's a great name. I had to look it up. Missouri Executive Order number 44 is a law. Well, it's an executive order that got uh, signed in Missouri banning Mormons. This band plays live sets in like white button-down shirts and black slacks and no shoes. This is a band I would love to see live someday. They're sick.
Real weird but chaotic energy to them. Uh if this band is more for if you like Dead Guy or Endeavor. Probably the most aggressive and I'm not saying that they match the sounds, but like if you like that kind of Colonial Wound, if you like that kind of aggressive, this is going to be early Converge. This is going to be more of a band for you to check out.
If you like that first, the Chariot record,
Yeah. Yes. I didn't even think about that. Yes.
yeah. Um, Yeah, it's cool. Um, uh, band are they're like just start. They just put out their first full length. Like they put out like a single earlier this year. A band I hope to see a lot more from. I hope they go places and do shit.
What label do you think they'd be a good fit on? Since you paid more attention to them than I have, who do you think would be like the label or labels they fit on real good?
Um, Brutal Panda, I think should pick them up.
Okay.
Um, I I could also frankly see them on the Flenser.
All right. Uh,
I think if they went on the Flenser, I could see them leaning into their weirder tendencies, of which there are many. And I would love to see that.
okay. Yeah, I'd say even Persistent Vision might be a good home for them.
Mm,
So another
yeah.
what's what Brutal Panda has local H, which still blows my mind. But that's still very cool.
And then finally, probably the most fun thing I sent you is
Yeah,
Miracle Blood.
yeah. Also very challenging. Um, this is the band that musically reminds me of something around Suicide File meets, I don't know, th what did I say? They had the Suicide File, parts to it. They had, I was so ready to talk about this one first too. Uh,
Me,
um,
but like weird operatic vocals.
yeah, Starkweather vocals. He had real Starkweather. Like that's the only band I could compare it to. It's like, oh, this is Remy's other band, and it's
Mm,
not. Um, Suicide File meets Yup Aside, and I know there's
mm,
something else that I sent to you in the message, but Yup Aside came to me a little bit ago, maybe a little Millhouse, um, real fringier hardcore label kind of music.
yeah.
Good flowed that record flowed the best out of all of them, even with the vocals as operatic and as fucking I was not expecting that. Uh, Twitching Tongues, to the Twitching Tongues. That was the other band I put in there for the when I sent you my message. So,
Yeah.
if you're down with Twitching Tongues, then you need to listen to this band. Really the best way to put it. If you like Starkweather, you need to listen to this band. Like, that is such a niche audience. That is such a niche audience that,
They're fucking weird, and I was hooked immediately. So I'm glad you found something to enjoy from all the various stuff. Um, yeah.
it, as again, I love the homework segment because like we get to even when I forget shit, the conversation I always thankfully remember it. Either somewhere in the conversation or I remember something that might be a better descriptor. Um, all right, we did not discuss your homework.
We did a little bit earlier in the week.
What did I say? Because I don't remember from last week.
Remembering Never.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes, yes. I remember why I wanted to do it. Not the repress was a big part of it, but the other part of it was we've talked about how bands have changed their sounds and
Mhm.
became more themselves, or just like we're tired of doing this. Let's see what we can do over here. And a lot of times, it's very successful musically, but not necessarily commercially. Remembering Never went from a uh, Poison the Well adjacent, bitter. I caught my fiance cheating band, like that kind of anger behind the first EP and LP, and then an immediate shift in tone, an immediate shift in songwriting. Uh, Messaging is totally different. Uh, there is no. I'm so sad. My girlfriend, like that shit goes out. I'm gonna bury her in the swamp. Like that energy goes away on women and children die first, and then you got God Save Us, and you got Hell is Home, the last LP. So a band that I think is again Mean Pete forever. But like, I think they're a band that now this repress came out. I think this particular style, this sound is going to start coming back a little more prevalent. And I hope that comes back with the same level of activism that those later records had. So
Hell yeah, I'm looking forward to this. This has been on my list of bands to give a deeper dive into for a while. So I'm looking forward to it.
yeah, I remember how I discovered them. We were going to Hellfest. We picked up a kid named Dave. I met on the internet in Woodbridge, Virginia. He had this CD. I had never listened to it. This is 2001 or two. It wasn't 2001. That's when Earth Crisis called it a day. It was 2002 because Curl Up and Die. Yeah, because we saw Curl Up and Die and Taken and Scars of Tomorrow on the way up and from a second story window in Pittsburgh. This was a this record came out of nowhere. She Looks So Good in Red, and I immediately paid attention. That was the big record, but the later records are significantly better. Again, messaging wise, and I think you'll like the tonal shift.
I'm looking forward to it. This will be
Hell
fun.
yeah. Um, but that's all I got for the night.
Same. I am falling asleep.
Samesies. I'm gonna eat an Oreo
Same.
cake stir.
Ooh, I didn't know you went in for fine dining.
Ah, it's the dark chocolate one, which means it's healthy.
Yes, that's how that works.
Is it not?
I, as
It
far as I know,
it has
no.
antioxidants.
See, chocolate has antioxidants. It's fine.
I have too many oxidants.
Just don't, just don't look very hard into where Mondelez gets its chocolate from.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that for like diamonds or like a lot of the things. Don't look into Nestle buying up water futures. Don't do that.
Don't. I mean, definitely do all of these things.
But
And
legally, we can't tell you to do it.
no,
And like,
I mean, there's a Wikipedia article on where on the lawsuit about the child slavery that Mondelez uses to get its chocolate, but allegedly.
peanut butter cups ain't gonna make themselves. And definitely don't go on eBay or Amazon or wherever and buy a green laser pointer. And like, do not point it at cameras ever.
Don't
Don't
do
do that
that.
in Minecraft. Don't do that in
Don't
Roblox.
do that. Remember Whitest Kids You Know?
Yes, I do, and I miss it desperately.
Rest in
That
peace, but it's totally illegal to say. Go
first
look
you
up
get
that
risk
sketch, everybody.
for first you get risk control, then you pull out your gun. God, I miss them.
Crazy illegal.
Do not do it. Don't. I also miss Derek comedy too. That was the other one
Mm,
that I
yeah, I wonder what that Donald Glover went on to do. He was
he was doing it.
talented.
He did a show uh about community college. I think it did pretty good. And then he did a mystery team movie, but I don't think it's been too much other than that.
I feel like he had some musical chops there, but I wonder if he ever explored those.
I mean, at the end of every show with him and Danny Pudi, the guy that played Abed, when that's he did. There were a lot of shows that ended with them on the couch doing music. So I think somebody clipped it
Yeah, you know, wherever you are, I hope you're doing well.
because this is America.
This is America.
This is
All right.
America.
Don't catch you slipping though.
Don't catch you slipping though.
All right. I'm gonna go. I love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening, everybody. Shout out Sweden.
Thank you.